Let's jump right in. Welcome to this urgent live explainer. We are currently tracking a developing situation in the digital space right now, literally monitoring a live connection attempt as it unfolds, second by second. What you're about to see is a real-time dissection of our current connection status. It's a micro journey that happens, millions of times a day, but it almost never gets the focused attention it actually demands. We've managed to intercept the exact sequence of a digital handshake, and we're breaking down the critical data we're receiving right this minute. This is a fast-moving situation with a ton of complex network dynamics at play, so let's get right to the data. Okay, let's dive into this. The very first piece of information coming across our wire is a direct mandate. It just says, just a moment. Now notice the ellipsis at the end there. This isn't just some polite suggestion. This is an official holding pattern. The system is stepping in, taking absolute control of the timeline and forcing a temporal pause. As analysts looking at this live data stream, we basically have to respect the command here. Before a single byte of data can be exchanged, before any kind of portal opens up, we are ordered to halt. We are held in complete suspension, completely cut off from our destination, until the network says otherwise. To really understand exactly what is happening in the background during this mandated pause, we need to map out the rapid, unfolding micro-journey of this whole event. At point 1, minute 0, second 0, we hit the pause. The system stops us dead at the gate. Immediately following that, at point 2, just a single second later, there's this massive flurry of hidden activity. This is the verification phase. The system is actively interrogating our connection. And finally, at point 3, we enter the wait. The logic and the flow here, they're inescapable. You cannot simply jump from that initial pause straight to your destination. You absolutely have to survive the verification phase to even earn the right to wait in line.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates why those three simple words carry so much gravity. Just a moment forces us into a state of pure anticipation. In our high-speed, instant gratification digital world, being told to wait is, well, it's inherently jarring. But the information we have confirms that no technical breakthroughs, no data retrieval, and literally no access can happen until this moment is fully observed. This mandatory breath is designed to filter out malicious traffic and make sure the servers aren't getting absolutely hammered by automated bots. It's a foundational layer of modern digital defense. We are completely at the mercy of the system's clock, just waiting for those defensive algorithms to run their course.
Okay, wait, we have a major update. The bulletin just crossed our desk. Verification successful. This is a huge, critical victory in this unfolding journey. Remember that invisible interrogation we were just subjected to? Well, we passed. The security protocols have rapidly scanned our request, they've analyzed our digital footprint, checked our IP reputation, and ultimately, they deemed us safe to proceed. This is exactly the milestone we were hoping for. The gates of the primary security checkpoint have officially flashed green, signaling that our initial posture is totally secure. But let's move to the next data point and see how this builds into our current predicament. On the left side here, we have our verification status, which is confirmed successful. Boom, we conquered the initial hurdle. But take a look at the right side. The next phase is entirely pending. We cleared the security checkpoint, yes, but we are immediately thrust into a brand new challenge. We aren't inside the venue yet, folks. We're essentially just standing in the vestibule. The success of the first phase absolutely does not guarantee the immediate execution of the second. The network is layered, and right now, we are only one layer deep. Which brings us to the sudden standstill we're currently experiencing. We've passed the primary security check, yet the digital gates remain stubbornly closed. We're cleared, but we're not moving. So we really have to ask ourselves, what exactly are we waiting for?
Now, what's really interesting about this highly focused status report is the specific trajectory it reveals. We are no longer dealing in abstracts here. The target destination has been definitively identified by our update, OpenAI.com. We know exactly where our request is parked, right at the digital doorstep of one of the most highly trafficked AI platforms on the entire web. However, the current status is locked at waiting to respond. The ball is entirely out of our court now. We've traversed the digital distance, arrived at the destination, knocked on the server's door, and now we hold. Let's lean into the tension of this delay for a second, waiting for OpenAI.com to respond. This perfectly captures the deeply one-sided nature of a digital handshake at this exact microsecond. We've done everything asked of us, right? We endured the pause, we passed the verification, we reached the target. But a network handshake requires two hands. Until that server processes our presence and sends a localized signal back across the wire, we're trapped in a one-way transmission. We're just staring at a closed digital door, listening to the silence of the network, and hoping the host actually acknowledges our ping.
Hold on, we have an urgent update coming in. The situation has changed drastically.
We're no longer just passively waiting for a response from the server. The parameters of this connection attempt have completely shifted, and a new directive has been issued. Action required to continue. This changes everything. It means our journey cannot proceed on autopilot anymore. We're no longer resting in a digital waiting room, we've arrived at a toll booth. An immediate active compliance with a new set of mandates is strictly required if we actually want to see this through to the end.
So, the crucial point is understanding exactly what the system is demanding from us right now. The instructions coming through are explicit, and they're broken down into two non-negotiable technical requirements. Step 1, enable JavaScript. Step 2, enable cookies. This is the ultimate barrier to entry. The system is flatly telling us that it doesn't matter how successful our initial verification was. If these two specific environmental conditions aren't met on our end, the digital handshake is going to be forcefully terminated. We absolutely cannot proceed without fulfilling these very specific technical requests.
Let's analyze these two distinct but equally vital criteria standing between us and our target. Required action 1 is enabling JavaScript. Now, this is the engine of the modern web. Without it, the complex, dynamic, interactive elements of a site like OpenAI.com simply cannot function. The system needs to know our browser can actually execute its code. Required action 2 is enabling cookies. This one is all about memory and identity. The server needs to be able to leave a secure token with us to remember who we are across this session. One is about capability, right? The other is about continuity. But here's the really critical insight based on the info we have. Security systems specifically look for these capabilities because automated botnets and malicious scrapers often can't easily execute JavaScript or maintain consistent cookie sessions. So by demanding these actions, the system is essentially forcing us to prove we are a legitimate, human-operated web browser.
And the final piece of data we have really underscores the immense gravity of these requirements to continue. Those two words represent the absolute gateway. There is no alternative route, no bypass, and definitely no negotiation to be had here. Enabling JavaScript and enabling cookies is the toll we must pay. If those settings remain disabled, this live update ends right here in the holding pattern. The successful verification will expire, the wait for OpenAI.com will time out, and the connection will just fail, dropping us right back to square one. We are standing at the final precipice of this digital transaction.
We have tracked this connection live, right from the initial mandate to pause, through the triumph of our background verification, right up to the final technical ultimatums demanded by the server defense systems. We know the exact destination, and we know exactly what client-side actions are required to open the door. But as we look at the reality of this unfolding network event, I want to leave you with this. Assuming all these parameters are successfully met on our end, will the response finally arrive from the other side, or are we destined to remain indefinitely stuck in the wait? Thank you for joining me for this live explainer. Stay curious, stay focused, and keep analyzing those unseen connections around you.